All right, 8-5. All of 8-5. Hopefully you'll have some time to work on some of these. Okay, we're going to add and subtract. Add and subtract rational expressions. Rational expressions. On Monday, we will solve the equations involving rational expressions. We always solve. Do you know that? We solved quadratics, we solved logs, we solved exponentials. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a little introduction into trying to remember how to add fractions. Let's see, we're going to go way back to 5th grade here. And we're going to say this. You have to have a common denominator. Okay? We're not going to be doing any more slashing. The slashing is the fun part. You know, you get your factors and you slash out the factors that are the same. With adding fractions, they're not as fun. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Number 1. If you have something like this, 2/3 plus 4/5. Do you have a little brother or sister and they ask you for math help? You can help them. You can help them with this, okay? So in order to add these fractions together, they need to be like fractions. They have a like common denominator. And so you look at 3 and 5 and you say, what's their, what's the word is that? Not GCF, LCD, no?
LSD.
Common denominator.
Yeah, least common multiple that they both divide into. Like 3 and 5 both go into 30, but am I going to use 30? No,
15.
you're going to use 15. So you're going to use the smallest number that they both divide into. And so this is equal to, and we're going to change this to be in 15s, right? And in order to do that, you have to multiply this fraction, oopsie, top and bottom by 5. Okay? And you do that because what you're essentially doing is, what is 5 over 5? It's 1. You're not changing it, right? You know that 10 over 15 is the same thing as 2/3. All right, over here, we're going to multiply this fraction, top and bottom, by 3. So you're just multiplying by 1. You multiply by 3 over 3. So you get 12 over 15. And then when you add them up, you get 22 over 15, and that would be your answer. It's been a little while, huh? Someone in my other class, he's studying to take a military test where he has to do stuff like this by hand. No. Is it who? And he has to do all this stuff by hand, like adding, because they don't like use a calculator, and it's a military test on like simple math. Simple math is what they call it. It's not so simple, is it? Okay, let's do another one. Number 2. Number 2.
We're going to the military.
You are? Cool. Let's say now you have 6 over 5x plus 4 over 5x. Now, when you have common denominators, it's nice and easy, right? So this, you can go ahead and add them up. We're not slashing anything. There's no slashing going on. We're going to add this up, and you get 10 over 5x. And at the very end, then you can reduce. Yes. So what would this be?
5 over 2x.
2 over x. X doesn't move. X stays in the bottom. But 10 over 5 is 2. Okay? So that's a little tricky. Now, let's do this one, number 3. Let's do x plus 5 over xy minus 3x plus 1 over xy. Okay, they're going to get complicated. This I still have a common denominator, so it's not that hard yet. But you have to remember, when you're subtracting all of it. And what I mean by that is, see this minus right here is going to subtract 3x, and it subtracts the 1. Oh, you're still really sick. Oh, did you get sick after your birthday or before? During. Okay. All right, so this is x minus 3x. What's x minus 3x? Negative 2x. And what's 5 minus 1? 4. And then this is all over xy because we already have a common denominator. And that would be your answer. You can factor out a negative 2 up top and do all that stuff, but you don't need to. And that's fine. Okay? All right, so now, yes. So now we're going to do some factoring and adding, okay? So we're going to factor and add. All right, you ready? These get a little tricky. Number 4. Here we go. Let's say you have x all over x squared plus 5x plus 4. And we're going to add that to 5x over 3x plus 3. Okay. This is where we get to some really tough problems. Now, when you look at this, you look at the denominators. They have to be exactly the same in order to add fractions together. These are way off of each other. This has a squared, this has some 3's, like what's going on here? So your first step to doing these, just like multiplying and dividing those, you need to factor them first, okay? So let's go ahead and factor each of these. So you have x over, and you guys are getting really good with your factoring skills. What times what's 4 adds up to 5? 4 and 1.
4 and 1.
Good. 4 and 1. X plus 4 and x plus 1. And then over here, what can I factor over here? Factor out a 3. And you're left with x plus 1. Okay, so in order to add these together, we need to have exactly the same denominators. Okay, so let me show you how to figure out what your common denominator is going to be. You basically need each factor that you see. Okay? So if you look at these factors on the bottom, there are 4 of them. So I need a 3. Both of them need a 3. Both of them need an x plus 1. I don't need to list that twice because they share that. So I can just go x plus 1 here and an x plus 1 here. And then they're both going to need an x plus 4. So all of the factors that you see on the bottom, because I can't take factors away, so I need to make them have the same factors by giving them the same. All right, that's, yeah, you do. Yep, you just kind of say, okay, I need one of those, and one of those. Like you're at the store, I need all of those. Okay. Now let's figure out what we're missing. So I need to go from this fraction right here to this one. So what's the missing link? What am I missing? I'm just missing a 3. It has an x plus 1 and an x plus 4. Oops, other way. But it's missing the 3. So in that case, I need to take 3 and I need to multiply it top and bottom, which I already did on the bottom. And up top, I get a 3x. Okay? All right. What are we missing over here?
5x.
No, don't look at the top. So let's look at this and let's look at this and check out the denominators. And we're missing an x plus 4. See, it has a 3 and it has the x plus 1, but what it needs is an x plus 4. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by x plus 4.
So 20.
Yes, distribute. So you get 5x squared plus 20x. Okay, now we are ready to add our fractions.
Wow.
Yeah, we have a common denominator, so this is my suggestion. Go ahead and list your common denominator on the bottom. Don't slash anything away, okay? Our common denominator, we need them both to be the same. And then we're going to combine the top. Do we have any like terms? Yeah. 5x squared, plus 23x. Perfect. And that's your answer. Pretty awful, huh? That's one
I
problem.
love it.
You do not.
I don't.
I know. All right, let's do, what was I going to say? Another one. Number 5.
Child was on the radio.
He was? Mr. Roldan's so funny. Every time he sees me now, he goes, another one.
He dropped his food on the way up here.
He did?
That's tragic.
Was it a bagel?
I was Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
He saved it though.
All right. 2 over x squared minus 4x minus 12.
It was close to falling into a puddle.
Oh, that's sad. 3 over 4x plus 8. Okay. This is just like the last one. I'm going to walk you through it again. We're going to figure this out. So if you look at this, you got to get a common denominator. In order to get common denominators, you need common factors. In order to get common factors, you have to factor both of them. So here we go. Let's factor the first one. And what times what's negative 12 adds up to a negative 4?
6. Negative.
Yeah, negative 6 and positive 2. Okay. Over here, we can factor out a 4 and get x plus 2. It's just like the last problem, super similar, just different numbers. Okay, now if you take a look at these, we need to get their denominators to be exactly the same. So let's choose one of each. We need a 4. I like to put like just numbers first. We also need an x minus 6 and an x plus 2. X minus 6 and an x plus 2. So they have to be exactly the same in order to add them up as fractions. All right, now take a look at what you have. Here's your original right here, this one. I needed to get it to look like this. It's missing a 4. I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 4. So that will give me 8. Over here, I have the 4 and I have the x plus 2. Yes, I'm missing an x minus 6. X minus 6. And let's go ahead and distribute at that time too, just to save us. Perfect. 3x minus 18. Okay. Now, last step, add everybody together. Anybody whose like terms can add up. So I keep my 3x. I have an 8 minus 18 is negative 10. And then the bottom is exactly what it is for both of them because it's their common denominator.
There's going to be like a lot of problems that we got to do.
No, I don't think too much. Yeah. I try not to assign too many. I think 20. I stay below 20 usually. Yeah. Number 6. How much on the quiz?
Yeah, would it be like a page
Oh,
of this stuff?
no. Like I would probably, 2 of them. Yeah. Okay, here we go. 3x plus y cubed over, this one's a little different. 3xy squared, let's say y squared, plus 5x minus 4y over x. Okay, write that down. This one's a little bit different because we're not going to factor anything. Because see, these are monomials. You know what monomial means? Remember mono means one? This is one single term. Just one guy. You can't factor that. But we do need a common denominator. So let me show you how to set this up. Maybe you know what the common denominator is. You basically need one of each that you see. So they're both going to need a 3. They're both going to need an x. And they're both going to need a y squared. I can't take away y's, but I can give y's to people, so they're going to need this. That's going to be their common denominator. Okay? So 3 from here, give them to both of them. They share the x, just give them 1. And then this one has a y squared, so that one's got to get a y squared. And now let's look. Oh, nothing to do there, right? They're exactly the same, so I don't change it. So it's 3x plus y cubed. But over here, I'm going to need quite a bit of stuff. Yeah. What?
I was just asking if you were going to simplify.
Yeah, I'll simplify at the end.
15.
Don't simplify as you're going along. You got to wait till the end, okay? So what am I missing? I'm missing a 3 and a y squared. Yep, a 3y squared.
15.
Okay, so yes, let's distribute. You're right. So we're going to get 15xy squared minus 12y cubed. Wait, I missed. No, I'm good. Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't we do anything for the y cubed and the y squared? Because it has like the y cubed for the first one.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because there's a plus right here. So you can't cancel because there's a plus. Is that what you're asking?
No.
They would have to.
Because you said like, oh, you can't like cancel anything out because it has a 3x,
Mm-hmm.
but it has like y cubed instead of a y squared.
Yeah, the top doesn't matter. You just kind of ignore that because you can't. Are you going to try and cancel stuff out? You can't. Is that what you're trying to do?
Like why wouldn't I multiply y's to the y?
Oh, you're just finding a common denominator, which is just the bottom. You kind of ignore the top. Don't worry about the top. You have to figure out what's common between both of them to get a common denominator down here.
Oh yeah, you're just looking at just the denominator.
Yeah, just the denominator, yeah. I know that y cubed is like, whoa, what can I do with that? Don't do anything with it yet. Okay, now we get to combine these together. So now they share a common denominator of 3xy squared. So we can add up our fractions, okay? Remember, when you add fractions, you don't add the common denominators. The common denominator is just common. It goes along with it. You add the tops. Okay, so up top, I have a 3x. That's not going to combine with anybody. And I also have a 15xy squared, which doesn't combine with anyone. And then I have a y cubed minus 12y cubed. Ooh, those are like terms. I can get what from that? Negative 11y cubed. And that would be it. Okay? See all these pluses and minuses in here? You can't slash. They're not factors. Okay? You can't slash anything out of there. I know. Adding fractions is tough. All right, let's do part C now. Subtracting. Subtracting is, you know, there's just one thing that you need to remember. You have to distribute the minus sign. It's going to be the exact same things when you're subtracting fractions. You have to get a common denominator still. But don't forget to distribute the minus sign. Distribute the minus sign. Okay? So if I told you to subtract 3x plus 4, it would be negative 3x minus 4. You have to distribute. All right, so let's do some. You ready? Number 7. Okay, let me start you off with something easy. 6x plus 1 over x minus 5. And we're going to subtract 3x plus 2 over x minus 5. Now, this is an easy one, quote unquote, easy one, because it already has a common denominator. So we don't have to work for that, okay? We're going to take this fraction and subtract that fraction. So our common denominator is just going to go along, okay? We don't subtract common denominators. The common denominator stays the whole time. And we subtract the numerators. So it's 6x plus 1 minus 3x plus 2. 6x minus 3x is 3x. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1. And that would be your answer. There's no slashing going on. These are not factors, okay? This is a 3x minus 1 and an x minus 5. All right, let's do one where we got to get a common denominator now. How many more questions do we have left, you ask? 2. All right, here we go. Number 8. Ooh, we're going to finish early. 7y over 5y squared minus 125. And we're going to subtract 4 over 3y plus 15. All right, write that down. And we're going to try this one. How much food do you have? A lot, huh? Try a lot of food. All right, here we go. So, first step, okay? You got to factor. So we need common denominators, which means really common factors. So, let's factor the denominator here. We're going to factor out of 5. Ooh, and when you do that, you're left with y squared minus 25. Do you see that? Which can also factor again. Can you do all of that in your head, or do you want me to write that out? Maybe I should write it out. Here. If you factor out of 5 right here, you're left with y squared minus 25, and that's the difference of 2 perfect squares. Y plus 5, y minus 5. That's a lot, I know. Yeah, you got it. Okay. And then minus, over here, let's factor this one, just the GCF on that one. So that's 3. And so we get y plus 5. Okay, so 7y negative 4. Now, I need to get a common denominator between the two of them. So let's talk about this. All right, take a look at their numbers. I'm going to need a 5 and a 3. Yes, someone said it. 15. if I was trying to add up a fraction that had 1/5 and 1/3, I would need a 15, right? Same thing here, okay. What else do I need? I also need a y plus 5
And a y minus 5.
and a y minus 5. Wow, this one's a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Done? How'd it go?
Good.
Good. Have a good trip.
Shall we
Be
use
careful. Drive
Wait, where are
safely.
you going?
Watch out for ice on the
Are
road.
you're not gonna have your PlayStation, are you?
Now there's no Wi-Fi there, so.
Oh, horrible. Rethink your trip. Bye. Okay. Are you going to miss your friend?
Yeah, he can't play Fortnite.
Oh, man. Okay, let's go from here to there. All right? So I need to get from 5y plus 5, y minus 5 to 15y plus 5. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by what? 3 times 3. So up top I get 21y. Okay. Look over here. What are we missing here? I have a 3 and a y plus 5, and I need to get it to be a 15y plus 5, y minus 5. So there's two things I need. Yes. Good. A 5 and a y minus 5. Oops, I wrote that wrong. A 5 and a y minus 5. See that? Because we need 15, and we also are missing a y minus 5. So let's multiply the top. Now, here's my suggestion to you. Go ahead and multiply 4 times 5 is 20, and then distribute in, okay? So 4 times 5 is 20, times y is 20y. And 4 times 5 is 20, times negative 5 is what? Negative 100. All right, we're ready. We're finally there. You do not feel good. We're finally there. We get to subtract these now. So we have our common denominator of 15 times y plus 5, y minus 5. And now we're going to subtract. 21y minus 20 is y. And then a lot of people are going to accidentally write minus 100 here. Yes, you need to distribute the minus. It's a minus 100 plus 100. Good. You guys, I think you're getting this. This is really good. Do you want one more? Or you think you... Why'd I even ask? Okay.